Hi, I'm Mayne, and in my work as a speaker and an author, I'm traveling the world helping people to live a great life. And then I'm meeting a lot of people that are amazing and doing a similar work to me. And today I'm in Copenhagen, in Denmark, and I'm with Pia Nissen, Tylak. Thank you for taking the time to be with us.
I'm so grateful for being here.
I first met you a little more than 2 years ago. When you were on my goal mapping workshop at first, and then afterwards interviewing me.
Yeah.
And I've come to know you a little in that time, and I can honestly say you are the most caring and spiritually minded, heart-centered person I think I've ever met.
Thank you.
And it'd be really nice to hear some of the things that you believe go into living a great life, and in particular I'm interested to know where your sense of spirituality comes from, whether you follow a particular faith or a practice. So maybe you can tell me a little about that and yourself.
Oh, the heart-centered things definitely came from my mother.
Okay.
My mother's heart and soul and milk. I got it from her. She is such a heart-centered person. And it's the most beautiful present she ever could give me. It's all about love. And it's so, I felt it from my childhood. It's so important for me to be the love, to live the love, and to give the love to people. It's all I'm here for.
So I meet a lot of people that have spiritual awareness. Many of them are following a faith they believe in. They attend a spiritual group regularly or go to church, but it doesn't always mean they're heart-centered and genuinely caring. And so what is it for you that you do that not only gives you your spiritual awareness, but allows you to live your life in that genuine, heart-centered, caring way? What is it that makes your heart sing?
Oh, it's about a lot of things. I think that spirituality is the most beautiful gift you can give yourself. And I'm very sad when people talk bad about it, because it's all beautiful. And I think that when they do that, it's because they're not sure about what it is. To live a spiritual life for me is to live from the heart, to live your true self, your highest self. It's all about set yourself free from the ego.
Yeah.
And trust your inner guidance. And that part is very difficult for a lot of people, because your intuition is so close to the fear.
Yeah.
So is it my intuition I'm following, or is it my fear? But it's all about living from what you want instead of living from what you fear.
And how are you helping people know the difference between the two? Because it's something that I've struggled with many times, where I have an intuition that something isn't right, but I'm never quite sure. Is that my intuition, or am I just afraid to do this thing? So how are you helping people to distinguish between the two? Do you have a special way?
I have more ways. I'm sure that the heart will always tell you the truth.
Okay.
And the more you know about what you normally fear, then it's easier for you to let the fear go. And it's so important not to identify yourself with the fear.
Okay.
A way of working with it is to look at the fear from the outside. So you are not the fear. The fear is the fear. The problem is the problem. So you have to look at the fear from the
Separate
outside.
yourself
Yes.
a little.
Yeah, exactly. It's externalizing yourself from the fear. And when you do that, it's more easy to feel what is the fear and what is my intuition. And if you really trust your intuition, there are so many gifts you will get from that. There are so many signs around you, and the more you trust your inner guidance, the more you see the signs, the more open-hearted you will be, and the more you will live from a higher vibration.
Yeah.
And
attract good things into your life.
Yeah, and attract is a good word, because if you live from your heart, live from love, then it's easier for you to attract what you want in life. If you're a loving person or caring person, the body helps you, the brain helps you, then you will get more oxytocin in your brain, and if you have that, people will love you more and trust you more, and you will attract the things in life you need and want.
And you've had a very varied career. You've done many things in your life over the years. How long have you been living this way of trusting intuition, following your heart? Has that been something since your childhood that your mother's helped you with, or is it something you've developed in more recent years?
I definitely have it from my mother, and she helped me a lot, but I have had so many challenges in my life, and I think the more we learn from life, the more spiritual understanding we will get. And I really had to learn to love myself more, and for a long period I was living other people's lives.
Okay, the way they thought you should be.
Yeah, exactly. And until a day I was driving on the road in my car, and suddenly I couldn't see, and my chest hurts a lot, and I couldn't breathe, and I was sure that I would die. And suddenly I saw myself from the outside of the car.
Okay.
And I really asked the universe in my head for help. And one of the things I was saying was, I so want to live more of this beautiful life, and I promise myself that if I get the chance to come back to the more normal life, I will trust my intuition, I will love myself more. And I don't know how long time it all took, but after some minutes I came slowly back, and I'm sure that the universe, or I don't know, some angels helped me to help myself. So since that, I have been very good to love myself more. Okay. I don't think I ever will look in the mirror and say, "Oh, Pia, I love you." I won't do that, but I have been working a lot with that.
You're at peace with yourself.
Yeah. And another challenge I had to learn from life was forgiveness. I know now, and I help a lot of my students and other people around the world to forgive themselves and forgive people they're not happy about. And I had to forgive my father because he, for about 15 years ago, he decided to kill himself.
Okay.
He cut himself in his neck and chest and legs, and he really wanted to go away from this life. And in the beginning it didn't work for him, so he came back to the life, and he didn't want it, but he came back, and in the period he was happy about it. But then after a year he did it again, and this time he succeeded with it.
Okay.
And I really had to forgive him for doing it. I have to forgive myself, because I felt I was a part of the reason why he did it.
Okay.
He didn't treat me like a normal father, and did some terrible things. And I had to forgive him for that, and forgive myself that I wasn't able to perhaps to forgive myself. So all that forgiveness part has been a big challenge in my life, and now I know for sure that it's a very important part of living a spiritual life. It's to be able to forgive people, because it's not the same as you think that the thing they did was okay. It's not about that. It's more about setting yourself free, and know that when the people did those perhaps bad things for you in your life, they did the best they could.
Yeah.
So to forgive it in that way, it's to set yourself free, and that is an important way to live your true self.
I think it's one of the most important things I learnt, is that people do the best they can with what they have.
Exactly.
And that includes their own start in life. And for some people that have a very difficult childhood, unfortunately they don't meet people like you, and they don't learn what it is they need to learn in order to set themselves free and live a great life. What do you think are the worst consequences of not forgiving yourself and not forgiving others? How does that affect people, you think, if they don't forgive?
It's mostly of them will live a very fearful life.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things in them which is blocked, and it's very difficult to live your highest self when you are living from your lowest.
Yeah.
And that I think people are responsible for their own life, and we are all creating our own life. And if you don't feel good about living your life, and you're full of fear, then it's difficult to let your dreams come true.
Yeah.
You have for your life.
And worse than that, sometimes when we're full of fear, we're creating at an unconscious level our nightmares.
Yes, a lot of stories in our minds.
So I've met a lot of the coaches that come from your coaching school with Spirit Academy, and I see the transformation in them.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And I know how really hard you work, a lot of hours. What's your main motivation for working so hard and wanting to help so many people? Where does that come from?
It's really from my heart. It's you talked about the transformation, and it's all about the transformation for me, because it's so beautiful to see the people. Many of them go from fear to love, and It's I think that we all came here with so much music in our hearts, and the more I see the people play it, the more happy I am.
And the more you want to help.
Yeah, definitely.
And what's your big dreams and aspiration for the future? What is it you wish for?
I really wish that people will live more from their heart and trust themselves, trust other people, because if we trust, it's we are just more open-hearted, and it's easier for us to walk the talk. So if we want to live from our heart, it's easier if we trust. So I wish that for all people.
Yeah.
That they trust themselves, trust other people, and play the music and let their inner child get out and play, have fun, and yeah, it's all about love.
And do you think it's possible for all people, regardless of how terrible things may have been for them in the past, to overcome those things and learn to live life in a good way as you have?
Yeah, I really think it's possible for all people in the world, no matter what they come from, because I think that it's all about creating new stories and to see the good in the past, and to look at what can I take with me from the past. Although it has been a very terrible period for some people, there's always something good in it. And perhaps you will find your purpose in life from what you learned in your past. Because if you have been living a bad life and struggling a lot, then you definitely will be expert on how to get out of it, feeling better, and a lot of people are finding their purpose in their past.
And if there are some people watching this interview and are in a difficult situation themselves and feeling like life is hopeless, is there one piece of wisdom or advice that you've learned that's helped you in your own life that you could share with these people?
I think that there are a lot of things, but mainly to try to love yourself, and that can be so difficult, but positive affirmations can help a lot. To talk to yourself, like perhaps that's one of Louise Hay's things. I think it's so sweet that she say that perhaps you can put a picture in your bra
or jacket pocket.
of yourself when you was a child, and when you talk bad or negative to yourself, then take this picture out, look at it, and ask yourself, would you talk so terrible to a little child? No, you wouldn't. Then don't do it to yourself. You are still that little child. So talk to yourself as you want to talk to small kids.
That's lovely.
And the more you do that, the more you use positive affirmations, the more you learn to love yourself, the more your heart will open, and the more everything will come to you, the more you will live in flow. And
because life improves, and then it becomes easier. Pia, it's been lovely talking to you today. Thank you so much for sharing so much of yourself.
Thank you for interviewing me. I'm so grateful for that.
I'm sure it's going to help a lot of people.
Thank you.
Bless you.